You know, we may actually put a battle vestal on this next run because I'm crazy. Battle vestals are what you would call a vestal who's in position 1 or 2, guys, and we may actually use this one in position 2. And there's a reason we do, because this one comes with tough. Even though the soft, we still have a higher HP base. So let's unequip that debuff charm, right? Like these are all the trinkets we picked up so far, but none of them are really good. Most of the common trinkets are really bad, guys. There's only a handful of common trinkets that are actually good, and that's actually something that we got into later on. Ooh, we might buy that immediately. There are very few trinkets early on in the game, guys, that if you see, you might want to buy. This is actually one of them. And the reason this is one of them is because of that scout and trap disarm chance, right? If you scout things, you know what's coming up. Information in this game is very, very, very crazy good. So I know that we don't have it in the further training videos, guys, but it may actually be worth buying right now just to show you exactly how powerful it is. Because if we go out here, right? If we go out here, we select one of these places to go, and then we decide from there, okay, what's our scout chance? Like, we're in here, we're provisioning, right? Our scout chance is 25%. If we buy that, it'll actually go up to 35%, which is very, 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 very good, guys. And I mean very, 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 very good. That's a really, really strong thing to have that quick. The more you scout, the more chances you have at finding secret rooms and medium and long dungeons, and secret rooms are worth a whole bunch of money. So it's very, very strong. The next thing we got to think about, guys, is who we're taking and what quests we're doing. Oh my lord. This is like too good to be true. A medium ruins dungeon. One of the things we're going to talk about right now are the different lengths of dungeons and the benefit of what the actual quest completion goal is. Like, this one is a complete 100% of room battles. By default, the map size will be much smaller because all you need to do is find all the different room battles, eliminate them, and then you're done. Now, when you have something like this one where it's explored 90% of rooms, this will actually be a larger map, but it actually becomes easier for you to avoid combat if you get a scout. What you have to decide sometimes, guys, is which one are you more like to go to? Like, how hard is it going to be? How much confidence do you have in the crew of characters you're taking out? The other thing that you want to consider as well, guys, is what kind of trinket are we getting? Shimmering Cloak is also very good. That's a really nice dodge trinket. Now, dodge is a very sketchy mechanic in this game. It can really work for you, but when it works for you, you have to really sell out for it. Like, what you're going to want to do is have 2 dodge trinkets essentially on every character you want at least trying to dodge. Otherwise, it doesn't really work out for you. But it's early in the game, and right away, guys, we have a 100% of room clearing with a seer stone. And we were just talking about how important scouting was in this game. So between the seer stone and the survival guide, pretty much any quest we go to, as long as we go into this quest and complete it, we're going to have a 50-50 shot to scout every room we get to. This early in the game, that is strong. So a couple different things are going to happen here, guys, and this is something that, again, if you get this lucky this early in the game, you will actually want to do it. Now, normally we would be saving our money, right? We would be saving our money. We don't really want to go too hog wild on spending a lot of money on items because we're going to want that for later, because we're doing what's called the rushing the bank strat. When we get to week 10, which you'll see in the next video, actually, now that we know that that video is there, the districts will unlock, and the best district in the game is the bank. So you earn 5% interest on your accumulated gold every week that you haven't spent, and the bank essentially will keep you afloat with money for the remainder of your playthrough. So again, we wouldn't want to spend the gold, guys, because we're going for that bank, and that bank is going to generate us a lot of gold. So we don't really want to spend gold right now, but for an item this fucking good, we're going to do it. Now, what we're also going to do is we're going to spend some of our crests here to upgrade so that this actually costs less. If we can save ourselves some money, we're going to save ourselves some money. The other cool thing is that the crests are probably the most common trinket or the most common heirloom in the game. So it's really easy to earn these, and I have no problem spending that much to save 1,500 gold.
Sold at a profit, of course.
You can do the same thing with skills. You can do the same thing with armor. There are ways to make the upgrades cheaper, and if you can make shit cheaper in this game, it really goes a long way in helping your cause. So we just saved 1,500 gold by doing that. Absolutely worth it. And we're also probably going to have that pay for itself anyway, because again, if we can scout things out and we know where we can expect like finding curios or treasure chests, that will pay for itself incredibly quickly, guys. So really nice find. We have a lot of very nice luck early in the game, guys. So again, when you prioritize quests, particularly early in the game, what you want to do is try to figure out, do you want to do room battles? Do you want to do exploration? There are also other quest types where you have to gather items in the quest, or you might have to cleanse items. Each one of these areas has 2 different types. Those also lead to other benefits, but early on in the game, this is what you're going to see. You're just going to see room battles, or you're going to see explore 90% of the dungeon. And you always want to see what the trinket is in each one of these quests, guys, because trinkets really do go a long way in helping you with your success as you progress through the game. And like I said, the Seer Stone and the survival guide this early puts us at a 50-50 shot to a scout. So long as we complete the quest, this is going to be absolutely amazing. So this is what we're going to do. Now, the other thing we got to think about, guys, is who the fuck are we going to take? And as it stands, I might be crazy. And by I might be crazy, I mean I am crazy. I think that we're going to do something crazy like this. Let me think. Tough? Man, I wish we could put... Let me think. Illumination, Hand of Light, Divine Grace, Judgment. The reason we don't want to take Reynold, guys, is again because he has Klepto, right? We were talking about this a little bit ago, and Kleptomaniac means he's going to steal items, so we don't want him stealing everything as we actually progress through the dungeon. Which is why we're kind of benching him right now. Even though it could be a little bit dangerous to take this crew, it does kind of feel good to do it. So we're going to put the Plague Doctor back here. That way we have all the different skills. Now, the other question is, how do we want to line these guys up? I think we're definitely taking both of the low-level Vestals. The other cool thing, guys, is that if you're going to a medium quest, and we should touch on this as well, you're going to have a camp. And when you have a camp during a quest, guys, on a medium you have 1, in a long dungeon you get 2 of them. It gives you a chance to de-stress, to heal, to buff up. But another thing you need to consider when you're going out here, guys, is do I have a prevent nighttime ambush camp skill on one of my characters? And the answer is yes. We have one on Dismas, and we actually have one on one of the other vessels we just picked up with Sanctuary. This is really important because you don't want to get caught in the middle of your camp in a surprise combat, and you have to fight that surprise combat with no light, which means they have a better chance to crit, more stress, XYZ. So make sure if you're going on one of these quests, guys, particularly early, it's almost even important early, that you have a way to prevent that nighttime ambush. Otherwise, your day is going to get really bad really fast. Time to call out having to reselect your quest after going back to the Hamlet. Yeah, that's also actually true. That's definitely a good point, guys. So this is the quest we want. And if we decide to go back out to the Hamlet, right? Let's say we want to go back out here to upgrade, guys. And this is something that's even caught me in all of my experience with this game unawares. If you go back over here, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to reselect that quest. Make sure that you don't just do all your business and then immediately hit provision and dive in, because as you can see, it defaulted us back to the farmstead, which is somewhere we don't want to go yet. So always make sure if you leave this screen, guys, to go back out to that main provision screen, the Hamlet, make sure that you reselect the quest here. Otherwise, you might have a very bad time. So the real question, guys, is do we want Dismas up front, or do we want him to be able to hit the rear rank? The other problem here is we don't have a way to de-stress, so that's also a thought. I think we can get away with it. This is kind of a crazy town fucking... This is definitely a crazy team comp that a lot of beginning players probably don't want to use. Just like full disclosure, guys. Again, normally we would want another tank for this, guys, but again, since I messed up and didn't upgrade our stagecoach, we only had 2 Vestals. So we're okay with doing this. Even if one of our characters becomes stressed out or this quest doesn't go as planned, we can always kick out that one of those characters and pick up new ones. That's something we're trying to avoid, but we definitely have that option. So we're going to the Ruins. The Ruins is generally a quest where you don't have a whole lot of food that you can find in curios, so you usually want to take all the food, especially on a medium quest. You want to make sure about 3 shovels for a medium quest is good. There are some things in this area that can bleed us. Now, are we really that worried about it? Not necessarily, because we have a Plague Doctor, right? The Plague Doctor has battlefield medicine that can cure it immediately. So we could want to take bandages, but we might err on the side of caution and just not, well, you know what, let's take 2. Just in case something goes horribly wrong, at least we have a way to deal with it. Medicinal herbs are definitely a bring here to the ruins, guys, because there are different curios you want to use on it. Keys are the same way. There are a lot of curios in the ruins that can proc meaning generate, where a key will give you a good result. Same way with the holy water. A couple of really, really nice things in here that you can use the holy water on. Last but not least, guys, the torches. And we're absolutely going to overstock torches because we're going to do a lot like we did in the last dungeon, where we put out light where we can, because we want to make sure that we can get a good result, right? We want to make sure that we can get a good amount of treasure. Now we're going to take the survival guide because of the scout and the disarm chance. Do the items you provision yourself with get sold back to the shop when a dungeon ends? They absolutely do, David, and that's what we were actually going over at the end of the quest last time. We were actually going over, like, okay, so this item is worth this much when we go back, and this item is worth that much. So that's why you never just want to toss things out of your inventory before you come back, because everything is worth something. Does it matter who you put the survival guide? It really doesn't, Jedbeck. You're still going to get the extra chance to scout and the extra disarm chance. Now, we may encounter a situation in this dungeon where I'm going to show you that sometimes swapping that trinket over to somebody else is a lot better because they have a better chance to disarm, but we'll actually cross that bridge when we get there. But that's a really good question, Jed. So let's go, guys. We have plenty in here. We have a lot of ways to make this go right, but there's obviously a lot of ways that can make it go wrong. We can't change our skills because we don't have the guild open yet. That will actually open after this week. So we'll be able to start getting different skills on our characters, which will be very, very good. And then we're also going to have 4 new heroes as we come out of here, which is also pretty amazing. Now, one of the other downsides of bringing this crew, guys, is there's one person who has a forced interaction quirk, and that is the Vestal, as Hagiomania. Hagiomania is kind of bad in the ruins because a lot of the curios in here are considered holy, and that might cause this Vestal to actually go up and interact with them immediately, and that will be a huge bummer, but it's not really a deal breaker here. Sky Sentinels is bringing up the fact that the survival guide is also a reduction in speed, and we were talking about how important it is for your characters to be able to go quick, right? Because you always want to eliminate an enemy threat. That's actually one of the reasons a lot of these low-level trinkets aren't really worth it. The extra bleed chance for -1 speed is not worth it, in my opinion. The extra blight chance at -1 speed isn't really worth it, guys, and it's a very like mediocre bonus anyway. Like, it's only a 15% chance. Like, if it was 20 or 25, maybe it'd be worth it, but 15, nah, not at all, guys. So a lot of these low-level trinkets, they just aren't worth it. They just aren't, because you don't want to take the speed. This one is because it saves you a lot and it gives you a lot of information. That's why the reduction in speed on this trinket is absolutely worth it. Let's get after it. As you can see, this thing's already doing work with the extra 35% chance here. So we're provisioned up, guys. Let's go see what we can do. This is definitely a huge fucking risk for us, but I think we can make it work, guys. It's been a while, but we still love you, Boss Ross.
The fiends must be driven back.
All right, guys, let's see what we get, right?
Place to begin than the seat of our noble line.
Survival guide paying off already, kids. Survival guide paying off already. Now, unfortunately, we only got a single scout. When you get a critical scout, guys, you'll actually scout the next 2 hallways in any direction. So if we would have gotten very, very lucky, we would have actually scouted all the way to this room and all the way to that room. We did not, unfortunately. So we still have to go this way. This is one of the downsides of 100% of room battles, right, guys? You have to go make sure that there isn't a room battle here. Otherwise, even if we go over here, we're going to have to backtrack all the way to here just to complete the quest. This is also going to give us a really good opportunity to actually do what I was telling Jedbeck about. So we scouted it out, and here's our trap, guys, right? And everybody has a shot. 50%, 90%, 70%, 60% because of the survival guide. Now, fun fact, everybody. In the middle of a quest, as long as you have the inventory space, you can move this fucking trinket off and you can throw it on somebody else. Uh-oh, look, guys. There is absolutely no chance that Dismas is gonna fuck this up and eat this with his face. So that is exactly what the fuck we're gonna do. And then what we do is go boom and boom and throw it right back. We're still getting the extra scout chance, but we don't have to worry about Dismas going behind an enemy character because his speed just won't back up. Abuse the fucking shit out of that any chance you get, ladies and gentlemen. Now, hopefully we get a scout. Oh my god! survival guide was worth, ladies and gentlemen. The survival guide was worth it. Nice, Karis. You're not wrong, Karis Divine. So this is another place where we can do that, right, guys? We scouted out another fucking trap. So Peveril here is going to say, hey, Dismas, why don't you take this book? That way you don't have to worry about disarming that with your grill. Dismas says, I appreciate that, Peveril. Thank you very much for that book. Here, you can have it back. Now, again, you can only do this when your inventory's empty, guys, right? Or if you have a trinket over here, you can actually swap those out with. Otherwise, you can't use that strategy. But if you can, again, you absolutely positively do it. One of the other huge benefits we have right now, guys, of getting all these scouts is we can probably kill the torch at the end of this combat to get better rewards from the enemies and get better rewards from whatever this treasure chest is. And that's probably exactly what we're gonna fucking do. Why do enemies sometimes get 2 turns in 1 round? There shouldn't be any enemies outside of a boss or a mini boss that get multiple attacks, Jim Salabim. I will actually need an example. Jim Salabim is currently asking why there are some enemies who sometimes get 2 turns in 1 round. That is a very, very rare thing in this game where an enemy will actually get 2 like actions in 1 combat round. And most of the time it's just for a boss, but I'm curious to know what you're talking about, Jim. I can't think of one enemy actually that will spawn regularly that can get 2 actions in 1 round. But here we go, guys. In the meantime, let's get to this fight. Let's hope that this group can actually handle it. Okay, this is kind of rough. This is kind of rough because they have a lot of stress dealers, right, guys? So we got to figure out a way to take these guys down. Now, what we're going to do with Dismas immediately is try and hit one of these jack-offs. We did a lot of damage. So absolutely, our next action is going to be Plague Grenade with the Plague Doctor to see if we can't eliminate at least this guy and get this guy really close. This Vestal is basically just going to be mace bashing the front 2 the entire time. It's not ideal, but it's not terrible either. We would have liked to have seen the Plague Doctor go before the Vestal guys, mostly because we would have known whether or not the Plague Grenade is going to hit, so this is going to be a bit more of a gamble for us. What we're going to do is we're going to Judgment this kid right here. Unfortunately, he dodged. Now we're really, really going to hope that this Plague Grenade hits. Okay, it did. The Blight took, so this one is at least dead, right? This one is going to be damn near it. We're going to really, 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 really fucking hope that one of our characters goes before him next round because he'll be dead if we can just do 1 point of damage. All right, perfect. So this is awesome. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and throw the Plague Grenade again, right, guys? As long as it... Well, that's unfortunate. That's even more unfortunate. Yeah, that's really bad for us, right, guys? So, unfortunately, the guy who does all the stress damage, you can see why you prioritize them, right? It should be very, very apparent right now, guys, exactly why you prioritize those guys, because they are such a fucking problem. So we use Tracking Shot for the extra damage, we get the kill. Even though he would have died from the Blight, it's still okay to get that. Now, we're definitely going to try and get the kill with the Vestal. Maybe she gets a stress heal. Unfortunately not. She did get a crit heal, though, so anytime you crit heal something, you get that right there, guys, and that is great, right? Crit heal, amazing. Get a stress heal. Anything that you crit heal with will always give you a stress heal, so that's always amazing. Oh, my lord. Oh, my lord. Look at the stress heals, guys. It's amazing. Oh, my God. What are these heals right now, guys? What in the fuck are these heals? Brewies, what's up? Good to see you. Somebody just hit my follow button as well. Moose off Where LTD? I don't know, man. I don't know how to put it. Where LTD? Thank you for thinking the old man's worth a damn. Welcome to the retirement home, man. Pleasure to have you here. So, honestly, guys, right now, we're kind of lucky. You know what? We could actually kill this thing with the Dazzling Light, and maybe we get a stress heal for it. Or we don't. Or we don't. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and we're going to kill the light, right, guys? Because we want better treasure. So let's kill the light. Let's pray we can actually kill this fool. There we go. There we go, guys. We got him. MU software. There we go.
fevered pitch of battle.
Thing I wanted to ask when you were doing your No Death Blood Moon run, are there certain quirks you always want to log and remove for such a run? Yeah, Luminous is definitely one of them, Brewwise. If you're going for a Deathless run, like Luminous is amazing because you live off a dodge in a Deathless run, and it goes a really long way. So this is why we killed the torch, right, guys? We had a really, really good loot roll there, and now we're going to be able to open this thing with a key, and we're going to probably get even more loot. So definitely worth it, guys. Definitely worth it. The bad side here is that we have a chance at, you know, getting a collector to pop up. The collector is a mini boss that has a chance to pop up if your inventory is, what is it, guys? 85% full or over, and that would mean we would want 3 of our slots empty at least to make sure that the collector doesn't pop up, but we only have 1 that's empty, so we could be in really, really, really bad luck if we find a random encounter. But again, they never just pop up. Enemies will never just pop up, guys. Enemies will always be denoted by a battle, especially if you've already scouted the hallway or if you're returning to it, right? So since we've already been down this hallway, there's a chance that we could pop up another one of these battles. Fortunately, we did not. So we still have a chance of this being the collector. We're just going to hope that it isn't. We're going to keep our light very low as well, and the reason we're keeping our light low is again because we know that we have nothing to worry about up until this battle. So keeping that light nice and low is allowing us to get better treasure as we make our way to this next battle. Luminous is a quirk that is amazing in this game that gives you +2 speed and +5 dodge, and that is a Shambler altar. The Shambler's altar summons a mini boss, everybody, that has ruined 2 of my Deathless runs. So those of you guys out there who are watching this as a training video, don't mess with this right now. This crew would get absolutely destroyed. What you would want to do is click on it and then throw a torch in there. We're not going to do that because we're not fucking crazy. Now, the bright side of a Shambler, guys, is it can drop some very nice trinkets. But again, we're not ready for that, so we're not going to do it. We're just going to bypass it and be like, fuck you, Shambler. We got no business messing with you. Okay, we're all the way back up to the tile with the battle, right? This is why we kept the torchlight down this entire time. This is where we go ahead and ignite all of our torches back up. Go in this bad boy with full light. We're right as fucking rain, ladies and gentlemen. No problems. And we got a surprise round, which is the other reason we wanted to make sure we came in here with as much light as possible. This Vestal is a fucking bad bitch, ladies and gentlemen. This Vestal is a bad bitch. I like her. It's Anya Joe all over again. Okay, the Bone Arbalist probably gonna die, right? Like, he's our main target. We talked about that. Oh yeah, he's dead as long as the blight takes. GG, well played, boys. Did someone say bad bitch? Mia Donnie, right the fuck on time. Good to see you, Mia. Master Mugambe, welcome back as well, man. Good to see you. So this is where we just kind of tee off, guys, right? We're actually using tracking shot because ideally we're going to be able to kill this with the Vestal. This is where we're going to start doing some manipulation of battle, guys. The big threat's gone. We know this guy isn't really that big of a threat. He could hit, he could do some damage. He doesn't have a high crit percentage though. So if we can stall it to the point where this Vestal can do the killing blow, that's really good for us, right? That means that the Vestal can get a stress heal if she kills it, which she probably will. Tank Vestals are best Vestals. So yeah, we have a 80% chance to kill this thing. Give me a stress heal. Oh, okay, so we didn't get a stress heal, guys. But you can see that you can manipulate battles to your advantage in certain cases, but you always want to make sure that the high threats are already eliminated and you're not in any kind of danger of somebody getting like a lot more stress put on them or a lot more damage. Come on, scout. Wow, that's a crit scout too. Secret door. Oh my god, I was really hoping for a secret door, guys. That would have been amazing, right? Trying to think about which way we want to go, guys. So right now, we've done 1 room battle. We have 2 room battles here. The question is, do we want to go this way and avoid this hallway battle? I think that we do. I think that we go this way to get through these 2 hallways that have traps, but no hallway battles, right? Because we're, at this point in time in the game, if you can avoid battles at certain points in time, absolutely do it. And the reason we're okay with going this way is because not only does it make us avoid a battle, but we have to go this way anyway because we have to see what's in these rooms, right? Just in case it's one of the 100% of room battles. So right now, it just makes a lot more logical sense for us to go this way just because we're basically eliminating a potential problem in the future, and that is always a very good thing to do. So since we do have an open inventory slot, we can still do the whole swapping of the survival guide, which is what we're gonna do. Make sure Dismas disarms it, right guys? Because Dismas is the one who is absolutely positively gonna get the disarm. And then we're just gonna keep it on him because we know we got this other trap coming up, right? So we may as well just go ahead and get it out of the way. Okay, there we go, guys. Now we can put it back over to the Vestal, right? There's no reason to have it on him anymore. Light another torch, right? We'll get this on the way back. That's the other thing too. If you know that you might be backtracking, which is what we're going to be doing, especially if we have to go down here no matter what, we can address this curio on the way back. If you know that you're in a position where you can always return and get better treasure with no light off of a curio, guys, that is a strategy that we use repeatedly in this playthrough. Always do that if you have the opportunity. Ooh, we got lucky. We got lucky and we got some dodge, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, and we one-shot the stress dealer. Lovely, ladies and gentlemen, lovely. Man, that was good, guys. That worked out really well, as a matter of fact. Go ahead and throw that on him, right, guys? Start getting that damage in on the big threat. Man, did we get lucky. Crits for days, GM. Crits for days. As long as this Vestal doesn't get crit, guys, we're in okay shape. Unfortunately, that one did. Fortunately, though, if you want to look at it that way, fortunately, she doesn't have as much stress as this one. So we're definitely going to judgment him. If we can do 6 points of damage, he's dead. We didn't do enough, but he will die. Ooh. That's one of the other nice things about a Vestal, guys, is a Vestal has 2 opportunities to actually get a crit. They can either crit on the damage with judgment, or they can crit heal themselves. And you can actually crit on both and get an even bigger stress heal if you do. That's always really, really, really fucking feel good, just as a heads up. So again, we eliminated the big threat, right, guys? And now we're in okay shape. This is where we start worrying about maybe trying to decrease stress on characters and trying to manipulate the combat. This Vestal gets to kill him, hopefully. Oh, come on! Come on, game! Definitely go for the kill on her. Not only do we get the heal, but we could get the kill and get the stress heal, right? And we get the stress heal. You can tell because the white went down, right? And we still may actually get a stress heal on him with this Vestal, depending on how it works out, guys. We'll see how this works out. 7 there. Do we have a chance? Probably not. Yeah, unless the Vestal crits, guys, there's no way we can kill it. Vestal's still doing a pretty good job, though, right? Use the heal, only because if we would have crit there, it would have de-stressed her some, right? This Vestal's got the jukes, boys. This Vestal has got the fucking jukes! Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna actually pistol shot the Quirks. This is where we, like, start getting into that stalling, right, guys? Like, we're trying to set it up so the Vestal can try and get the kill here. That would be best fucking case scenario, right? If the Vestal can get the kill, we do have a chance to get a stress heal. We're just hoping that she goes first and kills it.
Confidence.
Give me that stress heal. The top tier strats, baby! Come on! That's why we're here, and that's why we're learning, boys. We want to find a place for the emerald, guys, right? The emeralds were 750 gold. Now, Gareth Hubble was mentioning this in the chat earlier. There is one gem in the game you usually do not want to fuck with unless it is a last resort. And that is the Citrine, otherwise known as citrine. That's the real name. We like to call it Citrine. And guess what, guys? We have 3 of them. We have 3 Citrines right now, guys. So what we're going to do is this. Boop. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the Citrine because 3 of those are worth 250. This 1 emerald is already worth more. Now, the jade isn't worth as much, but if we find 1 more jade, this 1 more jade is already going to be worth as much as these. So you can see that citrine, guys, you can only stack up to 5 of any given gem, right? Any given gem can only be stacked 5 times. At most, a stack of citrine is worth 1,250 gold. Dumping this is usually worth it 95% of the time. There might be an occasional moment where you wish you would have held on to that particular stack of gems. More often than not, though, guys, it is way more worth it to dump it and start stacking other gems or gold. It just isn't worth it across the board. Bandages we might still need Invictus, right? Because we could still be bled. We could actually camp. Anya Joe's saying camp now. We could actually camp, but do we want to? I'm feeling like no. Oh, wow. We got another scout, too. Is that a full scout? That's another... No, okay. Good thing we came this way, though, right, guys? Because, as you can see, we have a lot going on down here. It may actually still be worth it for us to camp, guys, so we can actually de-stress this Vestal. That would actually be a very, very big deal for us. The Vestal right now has 50 stress. If we run into the wrong enemy comps in these next 2 rooms, this Vestal could actually get to 100 stress and have to do a check, right? We don't want to see a stress check at 100. When you get to 100 stress, your character has to make a resolve check. And then there is a 25% chance base that they can actually get a good result, and it's called becoming virtuous. That means that you go back down to 20 stress, and then that character actually gets a buff unless they hit, actually, I believe it's 100 stress again. If they hit 100 stress, they lose the buff. Or is it 200? Either way, getting to 200 is bad no matter what. Unless you're virtuous, if you at 200 stress, you become afflicted, which is the other case when you hit 100. If you get to 200 stress, guys, you can actually lose your character to a heart attack. They will have a heart attack, they will lose all their HP, and they can actually die. Now, the other bad thing about becoming afflicted at 100 stress, which again is way more likely than becoming virtuous, is that you pretty much lose control of that character. They'll do actions on their own, they will refuse healing, they will refuse to do other shit, they'll actually sometimes attack your own character, they'll stress out the rest of your party. So again, this is why we talked about in the earlier part of the stream, or the video, if you're watching this as a video, guys, that's why it is so important to do stress management in this game, and why it is the real killer. Because even just one character becoming afflicted at 100 stress can absolutely ruin your dungeon and absolutely ruin your quest. They will literally stress everyone out, or they will kill somebody, or they'll kill themselves. Like, shit just goes bad, so you want to avoid it at all costs. So since we are at 50 stress with her, it probably does make more sense for us to camp right now. That way we can actually knock some of that off and get a little bit better of a time through the rest of this dungeon. So we're definitely going to camp, and since we are going to camp, since we have decided to camp, that was the reason we haven't closed this down. What we're going to do is we're going to use this firewood here in a second, and the citrine we can actually put back in place, right? Because there's no reason for us to not do that. The only downside, guys, is that we have a lot of food, but we also need to worry about hunger checks, right? Because we know we at least have to backtrack all the way to here. So we right click for the firewood, puts us in this screen, right? We'll pick the citrine back up because we have room for it. Now,
an uneasy companionship.
Normally, you want to over prepare with food, guys, because feasting every time that you camp is very nice because of the minus stress, right? Like, we're gonna knock off 10 stress on everybody just by being able to feast. So this is why you always try to bring as much food as you can, guys. You want to be able to do that because, as you can see, we just got some pretty healthy stress heals on a team that has no stress healing right now. That's really, really important. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to take Bandit Sense, right? We were talking about no nighttime ambush. Bandit Sense is great for that. And we get extra chance to surprise monsters, which is really, really cool. From here, ideally, you know what? Prey might actually be worth it, guys. So Prey is a really cool skill on the Vestal, guys, that affects other religious characters, and we'll talk about the religious shit now. There are 4 different classes in this game that are considered religious. The Leper, the Flagellant, the Vestal, and the Crusader. So Prey will affect everyone else as well, but as you can see, if they're religious, it actually gives them a better buff. Prey may make a lot of sense for a couple reasons. One, we have a Vestal in position 1, so 15% prot is going to go a really long way in making sure that she doesn't get put down with HP loss. But the minus 15 to stress is the big get here, right, guys? She'll be down to 25 stress, which is great because she was at 50. And that goes a very long way in making sure that we don't have to worry about the stress for the remainder of the dungeon. So I'm definitely thinking that Prey is the get because it not only affects her, but it also affects the other 2 characters as well. So definitely worth it. That's usually a camp skill I don't use often, but in this case right now, guys, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we have 4 more respite points. That's the other thing you got to worry about too when you're doing this, guys, is that each one of these has a time cost, and that's what depletes this respite point. So Bandit Sense was for The prey was 3. We started with 12. That puts us at 5. So here's where we got to decide what else do we want to do here, guys. Right? Like, where else do we want to go with this? What else makes sense? Do we just want to go with clean guns? Dismas is the one who's doing the most damage. We also need him to hit, right? And this is going to give us extra damage and extra accuracy and extra crit, which at this point in time in the game is very strong. So we're probably just going to go ahead and do that right now, because if we can kill one of those stress dealers very quick with him like getting a gunshot off really fast, that makes a lot of sense for us to take. I don't know, we'll use it. We don't have a disease, guys, and there isn't really much in the ruins that can give you a disease, but we may as well use it because we have the opportunity to. So if you can use all your respite points, guys, use all your respite points. There's no penalty for that, right? And there's no reason to leave them on the table. You only have so many of those camping skills you can use based off of how many of the points you have available.
Of safety.
Are we going to want to open this? Yes. So the sarcophagus, guys, there are 2 different things that can happen when you open this. You can get treasure or you can get a quirk. We're going to get it on the way back because, like we've talked about, if we can come back with no torchlight and open all of these up, that is exactly what we want to do. We want to do all of this with no torchlight to make sure we make more money. That's why we're leaving it. Oh, Christ. Spiders. Spiders and you, ladies and gentlemen. Are we worried about spiders right now? Not necessarily. I'm still kind of crapping my pants. Spiders are dangerous. If there were 4 spiders in here, guys, we would definitely go down the rabbit hole of why these things are a fucking pain in my ass. Ultimately, target a spider and kill them. Ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this as a video, target a spider and kill them. They are an absolute mess. You will see more of that in the training video as you get through these guys. Thank you, Brewwise. Thank you. I appreciate that, by the way. So that was a relatively easy encounter, guys. I wasn't expecting much treasure out of that anyway. The size and enemy composition of any given encounter as you're going through the game, everyone, will actually affect how much treasure you get. So let's say that would have been 3 maggots. There is actually a better chance we wouldn't have seen any treasure at all. All right, kids. How we want to play it? We definitely want to shoot to kill, right? Like, let's go ahead and shoot him. As long as we hit with the plague grenade, we could kill him, guys. But we have to hit with the plague grenade. Come on, plague grenade. Okay, as long as he's blight. Okay, he's dead, right? 3 HP left, dead. Now, the downside is that she didn't get caught with the blight. That really sucks. We would have actually had an opportunity to kill her had we done so. So, wow. Well, she would be dead had that hit. But unfortunately now, one of the stress dealers is going to be able to go. But should be able to kill her next turn, right, guys? Should. As you can see, I hope that everyone is starting to pick up on the theme of why you target the guys who can do that shit first and worry about the other guys second. Oh my god, of course she got to go right before us. The other problem with them, guys, is that they generally have a high speed and they will almost always beat your ass in speed. So we may as well get her the fuck out of there, right? The other thing about certain enemies too, guys, is that they have the opportunity to use skills like her stressful incantation. If you picked up on that, that actually reduces your light, which is actually doubly a problem, right? What happened with her using that is not only did she put us under 75 light, which makes them do more stress, that also actually affected how much stress was done to the Vestal she targeted that ability on. So had we actually had over 75 light, this Vestal probably would have taken 2 or 3 less stress from that ability. But since that ability knocked our light level under 75, she took more stress as a result. That is another reason you always want to worry about the assholes who will stress you out, guys. But what we're going to do right now, guys, is we're going to go ahead and torch up, right? We know we want extra torchlight anyway. It gives us better bonuses, so we may as well do that right now. Let's get rid of this guy if we can. And now we just got this last guy, right? This is it. Unfortunately, the Plague Doctor missed. Let's see if our Vestal can smack him in the grill with that big old mace you got there. Unbelievable, man.
Reeling.
The amount of crits we're suffering right now feels really fucking bad. This is also why we brought the, this is absolutely why we brought the bandages, but we have the Plague Doctor. Let's take care of that. We were kind of hoping for a, A crit there. Didn't happen. Here we are, guys. Now we hope that the Vestal gets the kill and maybe gets a stress heal. Didn't happen. Definitely won all this, though, right? Oh, yeah, plenty of room, guys. Look at that. Making out like a goddamn bandit. Okay, unfortunately, we didn't get a scout. So we know that we have to go to this last room, guys, right? We have to. We need to make sure that there's no room battle. Kind of problematic for a few reasons. Whenever you camp, you never have a hunger check in the next hallway. We talked about that in the first one. So we could get a hunger check here, which means we won't have one here. But we could get a hunger check here, which wouldn't give us one here. That means in this last hallway, we could get a hunger check, and if we don't have enough food, we'll actually take damage and get stressed out, which is obviously very, very, very bad for us, right, guys? We don't want to do that if we can possibly swing this. Wow. This dungeon right now is crazy! All I want is a crit on this Vestal, guys. That's it. Oh, wow. Dismas coming in hot. The other great thing about getting a crit like that, guys, is what you just saw. If you crit with your characters, you have a chance to give a stress heal to the rest of your party, and that's obviously really, really cool. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to use the Judgment on this kid because we could kill him outright, get a stress heal on the Vestal, or, provided we just hit, he's going to die by virtue of the bleed, and we only have one more threat for the rest of the battle. We got the kill. Do we get the stress heal? Nice, guys. Very nice. We're doing very, very well, guys, in terms of how we're managing a party that would normally not have this good of luck by not having a stress healer, right? Good to see you, by the way, man. Thanks for popping in. Hope to see you again soon, buddy. Hope to see you again very, very soon. So you guys can kind of see exactly what we're doing here, right? This won't kill him. What it does do, well, it won't kill him as long as we don't crit. If we get a go beforehand, we could get a fucking stress heal on the person we want it on, right? Come on, stress heal. Nice, guys. Nice. How do you like that fucking planning? How do you like that planning, guys? Feels good, doesn't it? I need it, Dragon Slayer. I need it. I need the Mr. Clean advertisement. Good to see you, man. Not worried about the 50 gold right now, guys. So let's get the rubble. Let's really, really hope right now, guys, that there is no room battle in here. And if there is, we can probably... Wow. Okay. All right, guys. All right, all right, all right. I see you, game. I sees you. I sees you. I don't likes you, but I sees you. We really need to hope that this plague hits both of them. Otherwise, we're in trouble. Okay, so the blight hit both. Now, the downside... How do we want to play this? 73 and 70. 73 and 73. I would say we go after the courtier, right? There is a chance the acolyte will not use stressful incantation. There is not a chance that the bone courtier will not use tempting goblet, right? So no matter what, he will use tempting goblet. There is a chance that she'll use the Eldritch Push, right? If she uses Eldritch Push, we're not going to lose light and we're not going to get stressed out. So let's try to hit this guy. He's dead. So there is an outside chance, guys, a very, very outside chance that she wouldn't have used that. She did, but we were definitely playing the mechanics of the game there. Yeah, getting the surprise was huge there, David.
The slow death, unforeseen.
Blamed Cat, thank you very much for being here. Always good to see you, Blaine. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled Deathless run on Sunday. By the way, guys, we will be back to our regularly scheduled Deathless run on Sunday. We're going for the kill on her to hopefully get the stress heal. We didn't get it.
Mortality
and we in turn get crit by that asshole because this game is a rat bastard motherfucker, for lack of a better way of putting it. No, she can use them at this level, Ami. She's used them already. She can absolutely use them right now. She just rarely does. So let's see if we can get the stress heal. Come on, stress heal. Ugh, no, of course not. Why would we? 50-50s are not with us right now, folks. 50-50s are not with us right now, folks, unfortunately. That, however, was nice. I killed the light there really fast, guys, because we stand to make a lot of treasure on the way back, and I'm really, really glad we did. Because it's totally paying off right now. Look at all of this gold. So we're gonna go ahead and replace the citrine with that right now. Wow, that is so much loot. We definitely want that. If we can handle it, guys, we want the unmovable helmet because we can actually sell that for a lot of gold. Do we get rid of a stack of gold right now in hopes that we find another emerald and jade? I think we can get away with that. Unfortunately, this is all like up to the person when you're playing the game, guys. You just got to kind of make an off-the-cuff decision. Okay, so Kintian and I went over this a little bit earlier, and I wasn't being completely informative, so this will be for you and everyone else who's watching this as a VOD. If you crit something like we crit there, you have a small window where you can immediately get up there and kill the torchlight like I did, because you have to wait for that stress heal to proc. Had we not gotten the crit, it would have happened much faster, and we probably wouldn't have been able to do it. Now, I didn't kill the light before we hit the last blow, because I wasn't expecting the Plague Doctor to crit. I was hoping that we were actually going to kill it with one of the other Vestals, and then we would have actually killed the light before we would have taken the attack. But when you get a crit like that, guys, you have that split second, or that, like, maybe second and a half, to get your cursor up there really quickly and kill it so you get the better loot roll. And you can absolutely abuse the shit out of that. I implore everybody to do so. Let's go ahead and open this chest up. We're not going to come back this far because we're not going to have the food to do so.
And baubles, paid for in blood.
That's a lot to give up. But we are trying to focus down a lot of the heirlooms too, guys. We want heirlooms pretty bad because, again, if we're trying to rush the bank by week 10, we want to make sure that we have the means to build it. So it may make more sense for us to pick some of this up, as opposed to, we can probably get rid of the medicinal herbs. Holy water we don't want to get rid of necessarily. Can't get rid of the shovels. I think that's our best play, guys. So if you snuff the light right before you open the chest, it's not going to work. No, basically this is how it works. Jim Salabim is asking, so if we don't snuff the light, are we going to get a better loot roll when we open the chest? Now, this is the way it works, guys. The loot table rolls based off of what the light is at that moment. So let's say, for example, I didn't have the light killed. We didn't get the crit there as we killed that guy, right? If we didn't get the if we didn't get the crit and I wasn't able to kill the torchlight, the loot table from the enemies would have rolled on the light that we had, right? And then we would have just had to have lived with that. Now, if we kill the torch after that, right? Like, had we not made it in time, this chest, when we opened it, would have actually rolled its loot table off of Blackest Pitch. So it isn't based off of at the end of the combat, it's whenever the loot table is actually generated. Yeah, that's our best play right now, guys. And I should have used the herbs to get rid of that debuff, right? So the herbs are also used not only for curios, guys, but you can use the herbs to get rid of these debuffs. And there are some times where you really want to get rid of them. Like, the extra stress will actually get, you know, as you're walking through corridors, you see everybody, like, they stress out occasionally. That will actually affect it. So it does kind of suck, ladies and gentlemen, that I unfortunately didn't get rid of that, because if we would have gotten stressed out in our walk back here, he would have taken additional stress because of that debuff he had. And that's obviously a bad thing, right?
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Right now, guys, I think what we do is this. Crests are going to pop up more often than not. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to just go ahead and get rid of that. It's unlikely. Each one of the different areas has a higher likelihood of dropping heirlooms than others. So in here, it's actually busts. In the Warrens, it's portraits. In the Weald, it's deeds. And in the Cove, it is going to be crests. But crests are still the most common across the board. Okay? Crests are always the most common across the board. So if you're going to swap out one for the other, you may as well get crests, because there's a really good chance we're going to get a max stack of 12 sooner than later, guys. Okay, we didn't proc another fight, which is great.
Finding the stuff is only the first test.
Lucked out. So, guys,
Must be carried home.
We were talking about the fact that in the ruins, you're way less likely to find extra food. We got really lucky with our extra loot table with no torchlight in that torch sconce, because we got extra food, and that means we have another hunger check. So we actually have 2 more hunger checks through the rest of this dungeon. That's really, really good. That's actually really awesome. And this is where we actually touch this. Like I said, there's going to be 2 results. We're either going to get treasure or we're going to get a negative quirk. But the negative quirk is not something that's that big of a deal.
A fortune
Man, we are
waiting to be spent.
lucking the fuck out, for lack of a better way of putting it, ladies and gentlemen. We are straight the fuck up lucking out right now. I'm not sure how we're getting this lucky, ladies and gentlemen, but we is, and I likes it. And then this is where we jump out, right? We jump out and we do this really fast. Just grab this bad boy. Oh man, and another torch and more gold? I want to say this is where we get rid of the emeralds, guys, because we'd have to find 2 more to actually make it worth more than gold, so that's actually what we're going to do. We would have to find 2 more emeralds to make the emeralds worth more than a stack of gold, and that, at this point in time, at this stage in the dungeon, is very unlikely. Okay, so we have 1 more hunger check, guys. We know that we could get 1 more hunger check in this hallway if we have to go down it. We know we're safe for this one. So very, very cool, actually, that we chanced into that extra food, guys. And we know that there's nothing else in here. Ooh, we got rid of our herbs too early, guys. We could have actually used the herbs on that for treasure. Otherwise, there's no reason to touch it. So we want to increase our light again. That way we get the better chance to scout after this room. We knew that there was going to be nothing in this room because we scouted this far, but we wanted to ignite our torch as we walked in because it gives us a better chance to get the scout, which clearly, guys, just worked to our favor. So here we go, boys. This should be the last day. I'm pretty sure that this is probably going to be the last room battle. Stack of books, useless. Always avoid a stack of books. I cannot overstate it enough. The stack of books in any dungeon is trash. Leave it alone, guys. Leave it alone. Okay? No touchy. All you people out there learning, no touchy. This is a very, very, very bad comp for us. Just as a heads up. This is, oh my lord, we're gonna take so much stress. This guy's really bad. He could give us a very, very, very nice trinket, but this guy is very, very bad. Do not burn books, Blades. I agree. Do not burn books. Burning books in this game is a horrible fucking decision. Horrible. Reading and thinking are bad for you. See, Kintian gets it, guys. Kintian knows exactly what I'm talking about. And this is why I was scared about this dude. All that fucking stress, boys and girls. Oh my god, fuck off!
The slightest lapse in concentration.
Please hit. Oh my lord! As you can see, guys, you can see already why it was so fucking important for us to manage the stress, because you guys can probably pick up on the fact that this is really bad, right? Like, had we not been managing our stress until this point, most of our characters at this point would probably be going absolutely out of their fucking minds, right? Oh my god, this fucking game. 10 stress? Are you shitting me? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Okay, she's dead from that, so we need to start hitting him. Unbelievable. Unfucking real. Do we try and go for the stun? We do. That's the other problem with those guys as well. Like, they have a high dodge. They stress out your entire fucking team. They are all across the board just fucking terrible. And we get horror.
This returns even the
unbelievable, man.
Days.
Absolutely unfucking believable right now. Bump the chicken, what's up?
As the light gains purchase,
what we're really gonna have to hope for is somebody who can de-stress when we get out of here, because all of these characters are gonna be way more stressed out than we really wanted them to be. Like, way more stressed out than we really wanted.
A momentary abatement.
Yeah, David Strong, you're right. When shit goes bad in this game, it goes really bad. So let's go ahead and go with some healing. Crit heal's nice because we get a small de-stress, which is great. Come on, man. Thank God. Jesus. Fuck those guys, man. Straight up, fuck those guys. I fucking hate Mad Men so goddamn much in the early game. Yeah, we're over 50 stress on 3 of our characters, so I'm glad we were really vigilant about taking care of our stress up until this point. We really, really, really need to hope that this is the last room battle, guys, because if we have to go back down here and there's one more, it could be very bad for us. It'll ultimately be worth it based off of the fact we're getting a very nice trinket, But this is... Oh, and I forgot to move people back into their starting position. Shit. Okay, we're gonna have to do a little bit of shuffling, guys. I forgot to do something. I forgot to put everyone back where they're supposed to be. So we're actually going to have to take a round to move people around because I was forgetful. So let's get him back here. Sakasa, what's up? Good to see you again, Sakasa. We're going to move her up, and then we're reset, right? Now we got to start worrying about taking these guys out. These guys are still the big threats, right? Sanction 357, what's up, man? Oh yeah, Sanction, you should be around for all of my other videos. All of my other streams, man, especially in our Deathless run. I'm losing my brains, right, guys? I'm always losing my brain, Sanction. I feel you on that one, man. I would really like to see this Vestal get a fucking kill one of these days, man. We're getting really unlucky right now. Thankfully, this asshole hasn't crit us. Things could be going a lot worse if this guy was critting us. You got gifted a sub. I think everyone got gifted a sub last night, Sakasa, just so you know. Okay. So we're not in a good way right now. Let's just put it that way. We got to get it. Oh, my lord. He beat us. Really? Of course he beat us. Why wouldn't he? And he beat us. What? Oh, my God. The guy with 1 speed beat our entire fucking team. Are you shitting me, game? Are you fucking shitting me? The guy with 1 fucking speed beat our entire team. Get the fuck out of here, game. Wow. Just wow, guys. Okay, so we're gonna keep healing her because she needs it, right? Let's go ahead and try to get the damage in. Maybe we'll beat him. Or not. Also good. Oh, I know, Blades. I know how it works. It's just really annoying when the percentage, like, really falls against you. Like, really falls against you. It's super annoying when that happens. Wow. So here's what we know. We know we don't need the shovel, guys. We might need the key. So let's go ahead and do this. We can kill our torch, right? There's no more room there's no more battles. What we're going to do is we're going to stick our nose out here and we're going to at least get this curio. We might get both, but we're going to want to kill the light and then we'll backtrack and we're going to get the rest of this as well. We'll also open up that with no light. So this is where we kill it, right?
The darkness holds much
Hit
worse
this one.
than mere trickery and boogeymen.
We'll need to save the food just in case. We can actually get rid of the torches now. We know that we're not going to need the torches anymore because we have no more combats coming up, right? Hit that. More treasure. Totally worth it, guys. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. We're going to stick our nose out here and get this one. Except it's books, so we're going to say, fuck you, books. We're not about that life. Then we're going to go this way. The level 1s at Denkenstein, we haven't... Ooh, this is perfect, actually, guys. This is good. This is a de-stress as long as no one touches it. Lovely. So we can use holy water on the Vestal. Boom. Nice big 30 stress heal. Got very lucky there, guys. Here's the other thing about food. We've made it this far, right, guys? We've made it this far with our food. Guess what we can do? We can still shuffle our trinket around even though we don't have anything in our inventory we can actually swap. We can eat the food. Does anyone know why we can eat the food? If you don't, this is why. Anytime there is an occupied tile in a hallway, right? If there's something in that tile, 2 things cannot exist in 1 tile. We know for a fact after this curio, there is no chance of us getting a hunger check in the rest of this hallway. There's a trap in this tile, and then there's something in the next one. So there is absolutely 0 chance of us getting a hunger check in the rest of this hallway. So we can still swap out the trinket, right, guys? We can put the trinket on Dismas. Dismas now has a 100% chance to disarm this thing. Dismas disarms it. We can keep it on him because we're technically done. It's a stack of books. We're officially done, guys. Would have liked to have maybe gotten more treasure out here. We took a little bit of a gamble. We saved some of our provisions in the hopes that some of these curios on the back end of the dungeon would have actually been something we could get treasure from. But here we are. Not a big deal, guys. We still came out of this really, really good. We're getting a very, very good trinket. We earned a lot of gold. We had a lot of heirlooms here. This is still an ultimately across-the-board success in terms of our second week in the game. So we still got 12,000 gold, guys. We got that fucking seer stone, man. That seer stone is such an awesome get. It's unfortunate you guys aren't going to see this in the other training videos, but still, that is a very, very nice find. Okay, so Hylomania is also bad. Hylomania is another forced interaction quirk we did not want to see. Warrior of Light, nice quirk, wrong class, guys. Don't want to see Warrior of Light on the Vestal. Here we are, though, guys. Not too bad, but not great, because, again...
She has paid dearly for her freedom.
Remember how we were talking about the best quirk in the game, guys?
Than this place.
Remember how we were talking about the best quirk in the game? Shield Breaker out the fucking gate with Luminous. I can't believe this. This is crazy. Also doesn't really have like bad quirks on this side. God-Fearing and Winded are both kind of whatever. Luminous, however, this is a character we absolutely pick up.
Shifting, swaying.
Get some sleep, Blades. Thank you for being here. If nothing else, guys, we pick it up just because we need more people in our stable of heroes, right?